Hey y'all, so tonight I'm cooking something I told you I was going to share with you, and it is called crawfish bread. First time I had this, it was at Copeland's, and oh my goodness, it is so good. So what I have here, I have Louisiana crawfish tails. I don't like the crawfish from China. This is the Louisiana crawfish tails, and they were on sale for $9.99. Sometimes they're as expensive as like $16.99 for a pound, but this is on sale at Albertsons for $9.99. That's why I got these. And what I'm going to do with the crawfish tails, they're already cooked, and then they're going to be in the oven for 10 minutes. So I'm not going to cook them. What I'm going to do is add them to a seasoning blend I have here. This is a mixture of onion, garlic powder, just a little crawfish and crab ball, a little regular salt, just a little bit though. I may not even use all of this. Also for this, I'm going to use mozzarella cheese. I didn't have Kraft, couldn't find Kraft in the store today. I was willing to pay a little extra for it because, like I said, I can't shop like I want to. But I did have this I bought from Kroger for 99 cents the other week. And then I have the spinach artichoke dip, members only, from Sam's. Really good. It's really, really good. And I can't remember. I think I paid $6.97 or $7.97 or something like that for it. And then what you do with your bread, you use a loaf of French bread. Now I had bought 2 loaves from Sam's, but what I had did that I never do again, I had them to pick my bread for me. And usually I put in the comment section to give me the bread that was actually baked that day. But the bread they gave me was actually, the sell by date was the 19th, and I think that's when I picked it up. So they didn't do right by me, but that's okay. I had to end up throwing it away because it actually molded. I didn't put it in the refrigerator or anything. So, but, so what I'm doing, I'm taking the bread out of the bag. And I'm working on limited space here, y'all. So I got my serrated knife. Y'all don't want to see me in the frame. And so I'm cutting it lengthwise in half. That's probably not the best way to cut it. I'm not a chef. And before I get close to my hand, I am going to move it. So here's our bread. I cut it in half. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, I love those Cuisinart knives. I love them. Y'all may hear on the other side, I'm actually doing some wings. I'm telling y'all, my air fryer is like a staple in my home now. It's like, wow. I'm telling y'all, it's like such a time saver. And then you're not using all that unhealthy grease in your food and stuff like that. And I love it. I really, really do. So probably want to use melted butter, but this butter is really soft. And you know what? I probably should have taken some of this. I probably should have taken some of the bread out. I don't think I wanted that much bread. Let me just, I'm going to waste a little butter there, but I'm going to pull some of this out. I don't want that much bread. We don't eat very much bread here. So, let's see. I'll just put it right here for now. Unfortunately, I'm going to be wasting a little butter, but that's okay. That's okay. Not that much before I realize I don't need all that bread into the inside of there. But I do want to put, and I'm going to tell you something else that's really good if you want to, like when I got this from this guy, had a food truck, and I was so sad to hear that he actually passed away. But he used to have very, very good food. He was married. I think he and his mother passed, and I think he just, you know, he lost it. And I honestly, it's hard when you lose your mother, you lose your parents. But man, yeah, I don't know. This bread to me it's a lot. So I think I'm gonna run this in the oven just for a minute, not very long. I don't like to cook with a whole lot of butter. But this you want to season in like layers for sure. And unfortunately, I am going to throw this bread away. There's not a whole lot. But I don't really have use for it. I don't make bread pudding because nobody here eats it. I could have made bread crumbs, but I don't really use them either, not much. So, what we're going to do, and I'm all over the place, y'all, but what we're going to do, I am going to cut open these crawfish tails. Again, I'm not cooking them because they are actually already cooked. And if you cook them too long, they'll get rubbery. So instead of cooking them like that, I'm not going to. Y'all see? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of my spice mixture here to them. Not a whole lot. I just want my crawfish to be seasoned in this dish. So let's put the bread in the oven. I don't want to bake it, but I do want it to be just a little toasted for purposes of so here I took and put so here are my crawfish. I'm just going to take them and mix. And so I think what I want to do too, I think what I want to do too, I want to put some butter. I think I do. Let's add a little softened butter to this. And that's okay that it's not melted. You can melt yours. You're going to try this recipe. And I'm winging this. This is not a recipe that I have, that someone showed me. It's just something I made up because I love that crawfish bread. Don't need a whole lot of butter because there's going to be butter in the bread as well. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to switch this into this big bowl here. And you know, sometimes you get a crawfish and it has a lot of the little meat stuff that goes with it. But if you notice these, they've been cleaned, deveined, everything. Okay, so here's the spinach artichoke dip. Here's what it looks like. Can y'all see? I want to make sure y'all can see it because a lot of times it'll be out of frame. So we're going to take it out of here, and I don't know if this is too much. Well, I got 2 loaves, so it should be fine. If it's too much, we'll know next time. But we're going to mix this up. We're going to mix the spinach and artichoke dip along with our crawfish tails. We're going to thoroughly combine it. Mix all those flavors up. We're going to take that bread out. And see, they tell you for this, when you're going to make this, because you can just use this as your dip for, like, if you happen to get together. It's very good. Again, it's Member's Mark, excuse me, purchased from Sam's. But I want to mix this up thoroughly. So that's what I'm doing here. Like I said, I just want the butter to melt a little bit. I don't want it to cook. I don't want it to toast. And so here it is. Here's my bread. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take this and spread it on our French toast. Now you can also make this with shrimp. And the reason why I wanted to add a little of my own seasonings to it is I didn't want it to taste like artichoke dip and not have anything. And you know what? I probably should have tasted it and I didn't, but it's fine. It's going to be okay. One thing about cooking is you learn something every time, you know, as you go. So let's slide this one back. quite a bit. I probably could have made another one, but it's going to be a little extra here, but that's okay. Like I said, trial and error. I probably didn't need to use all that dip, but it's not spread out all the way across either. So I've seen too where people take and do it with shrimp. That's a big piece of artichoke right there. Okay, got a little mess right there I need to get up. All right, and so now we're gonna put this in the oven. I'm going to check it. I'm going to let it go about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to come back and put my mozzarella cheese on top that I have sitting here. And then it'll be finished. It'll take, and so what I'm doing is I'm doing air fryer wings, corn on the cob, and then this. I don't know what kind of situation I got going on today, y'all. But that's just what I came up with. And I'll be barbecuing tomorrow. So this is it. This is the crawfish bread. I'll come back and show you what the finished product looks like.